In the crypto community, everyone knows about a stock called MicroStrategy MSTR. Yesterday, they just announced that they're going to dilute the company's shares from 330 million shares to 33 billion shares. When I saw those numbers, I couldn't believe it. What does their CEO really want to do? Is he planning to bail? Based on his previous line of thought, this stock was supposed to be used for buying the big pie. But if some people's guesses are true, throwing all that money in at once could actually push the big pie up to over $1.00. Just a heads up, I'm not a finance expert, just a developer in the crypto industry. I'm not recommending anyone to buy any crypto, and this video isn't about investment advice. Hey, crypto isn't just for programmers. I'm Gda, and on this channel, I'm here to take you from beginner to Web3 Pro. If this sounds like your kind of thing, make sure you subscribe and smash that like button. To stay competitive in the Web3 space, leveling up your skills as a DApp developer is the way to go. Head over to our homepage, and I'll guide you through every step of the journey. This company has historically been focused on developing business data analysis tools for enterprises, and they have a broad client base around the world, mainly in finance, retail, and manufacturing. MSTR got into serious Bitcoin investments in 2020, and that's the main point, not the different industries they're involved in. They've been making a ton of big acquisitions. They're gradually incorporating Bitcoin as a key part of the company's balance sheet. The founder and CEO of MSTR, Michael Saylor, is a strong supporter of Bitcoin, and I'll just call him Saylor for short from now on. He thinks Bitcoin is like digital gold, an asset that can withstand inflation. With all the moves Saylor's made over the past few years, MSTR became the first company to buy Bitcoin in 2020. A public company with major reserve assets has been steadily acquiring Bitcoin using funds from shareholders on debt financing, making it one of the largest corporate holders of Bitcoin globally. First, let's do some math. Let's say the current Bitcoin price is 95,000. The initial shares were 330 million, and based on their plan from yesterday, they're looking to bump that up to 33 billion, which means adding about 10 billion shares. If the stock price stays between $33 and $36, they could raise around $35 trillion. If you spend $35 trillion to buy Bitcoin at a price of 95 bucks, you could theoretically get about 262.7 Bitcoins. But here's the issue. There are only 21 million Bitcoins in total, and most of them aren't even in circulation. So, will MSTR try to buy 260 Bitcoins and raise $30 billion to achieve that goal? Some Twitter users mentioned that this doesn't mean MSTR will immediately dilute its shares to 10 billion. This proposal is more about creating room for future capital expansion rather than flooding the market with shares right away. It's going to take a while to actually put this plan into action, not something that'll happen in the short term. The market's reaction to this news has been quite rational. Looking at the stock price, if MSTR plans to issue 10 billion shares tomorrow, there's no way the stock price is going to stay stable. It's totally normal for it to pull back right now, especially since it's down 33 from its historical high. Since the peak in 2021, Bitcoin has still gone up by about 30 to 40. So from that perspective, MicroStrategy has been able to outperform the market. Right now, MSTR has a total share cap of 330 shares, and 225 of those are already in circulation. To keep buying more tokens, they barely have enough shares available to issue. So the main goal of this expansion proposal is to provide flexibility for future market purchases and financing. They might do a 10-for-1 stock split, increasing the number of shares to 3 billion. While MSTR's business model mainly relies on raising funds through low-interest bonds to buy Bitcoin, and then just keep repeating that process. So the current idea is to make sure they can keep buying Bitcoin over the next few years, even during a market slump. So, his move is basically a way to hedge himself. Given the current situation with the bond issues, he can still sell off some of his stocks to buy Bitcoin. There's a pretty good chance that this proposal will pass since Saylor holds 46.8% of the voting power. You only need an extra 4 support to get through. Given MSTR's current market reputation and shareholder backing, the chances of this plan getting approved are almost 99. To sum it up, this proposal is really important for MSTR and Bitcoin's long-term growth. Even though its short-term impact might be limited, MSTR's strategy shows strong confidence in Bitcoin as an asset. This could not only boost Bitcoin's floor price but also have a positive effect on the entire market. In the end, as institutions like MSTR keep scooping up Bitcoin from the market, the circulating supply of Bitcoin is shrinking. This scarcity could drive the price of Bitcoin even higher. No matter what, this event definitely gave more bullish momentum to the future of the pancake. For a structured learning path and developing Web3 projects on Solana and other EVM chains, make sure to follow our channel for more tech insights. If you'd like to join our bootcamp, head over to my Patreon. With a free subscription, you'll receive a Web3 project development learning blueprint, outlining the essential skills to quickly build your own dApp. See you there.